Hey family, this is Lady Wisdom with consistency. Yeah, consistency. Being consistent, having discipline, going through the same routines on a daily basis, day in and day out, may be incredibly boring, but successful people do it all the time. It's been said, it's not written in stone, but it's been said that if you do something 10,000 times, you become an expert at it. Look at all of your star athletes, your people in the arts. Consistency has brought them to the threshold of success. Be consistent at what you do and be successful. Make sure you stay connected. My journey with Paula G across all platforms. And remember, the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? Are you listening to his voice? Embrace the journey. Welcome to my journey with Paula G. I am your host, Paula G. And here is where we're juggling this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. Thank you all so much for being here. If this is your first time on the journey, we welcome you. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for your continued support. Whether you're listening or viewing, we really appreciate each and every one of you. We also appreciate our underwriters. Without them, we would not have the means to provide this programming, so we thank our underwriters. And if you have a business, a product, or service, and you're looking to gain exposure in front of an audience, you can email us at jerryvoicelive@gmail.com or paula@paulagvoice.com. Also, I encourage you to stay connected with me across all platforms. Paula G Voice. My website is paulagvoice.com. There you can find my radio, my television, I'm an author, voiceover, contributing writer to Flourish Digital Magazine, lifestyle print model, and also my mindset journey courses where we unlock negative mindset and create a new narrative. So I hope that you will stay connected. Well, today I want to talk with you a little bit. And this season, I've been talking about some different topics and some different subjects that are relative to perhaps the seasons in our life that we may be going through, whether we are baby boomers and we have our adult children moving back home, or whether we are now engaged in a new relationship. Maybe we've been divorced for years or widowed for years, we've been single, and now we're in a relationship. So kind of talking about some of these issues that are relative to our daily lives. And today I want to talk a bit about seasonal friendships. Seasonal friendships. And I've learned over the years that there are some friendships that are a lifetime, and there's some friendships that are for certain seasons, depending on what's going on in that season. And we'll talk about that a little bit. A couple of the scriptures that spoke to me on this one first was First Thessalonians 5, verse 11. So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing. Encourage each other, build each other up, just as you are all already doing. And then we have Colossians. And let me see if I can find it on here. Well, let's go to Proverbs first. We have Proverbs 16 and 28. I always like a physical book, a physical Bible, but when I'm having these conversations with you all, to have it on an electronic device is quite helpful. All right, Proverbs 16 and 28. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife. Gossip, ooh, separates the best of friends. Violent people mislead their companions. I'll read that one again. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife. Gossip separates the best of friends. Violent people mislead their companions, leading them down a harmful path. Is verse 29. We go through life, and as we go through the seasons of life, depending on what season we're in, what headspace we're in, what we're going through, what our likes are, what our dislikes are, we come across certain people in our lives, and we may befriend those people because we are in the same space as those particular people are. So when we're looking at this scripture, Proverbs 16:28, a troublemaker plants seeds of strife, gossip separates the best of friends. There may be a season in your life where you're a gossiper yourself. You are a gossiper yourself. Your friend's a gossiper. So you both gossip. And that is what the foundation of the friendship. So maybe you've grown, you've matured, and now you're no longer gossiping. You don't talk about people. You're no longer gossiping. And I'm not quite sure if this is what this particular scripture meant, but this is what it spoke to me. A troublemaker plants seeds of strife. Gossip separates the best of friends. So in this instance, you are no longer a gossip and you were good friends with this person. It's going to separate that friendship. On the other hand, if you and someone else are good friends and you are the victim or a victim or victims of gossip, and the two of you and your friend, without communicating with each other, are responding and reacting based on the gossip of others. Someone's telling you something about your friend, someone's telling your friend about you, perhaps whatever reason the two of you don't communicate, and the friendship winds up going by the wayside because of gossip. When in fact, in that particular situation, if you just had the opportunity, or both of you had the wherewithal to sit down and discuss and talk about, this is what was brought to my attention, this is what was brought to my attention, and talk it through. And I know, as simple as that sounds, sometimes that doesn't happen for people who, you think and you say, okay, they were like the best of friends. Why didn't they just talk about it? For some reasons, that doesn't happen. People don't talk, people don't communicate. And now have come into a day and age where everything is contactless, everything is right here. You're texting, you're emailing, you go to the store, you order food, it's contactless. You can just punch in some numbers and you go. We're losing that human contact. We're losing that space of developing those genuine friendships, and we're losing those connections. Now, on the other hand, there may be instances, and oh my goodness, I've learned this, where people have come into your life and you feel that you are or have developed a friendship with this person, only to discover that later on down the road, there was an agenda. The person coming into your life as a friend had an agenda. Once that agenda was met, or perhaps it was dissolved in some kind of way, and that was the foundation of the friendship is no more. I've learned you have to assess, be discerning when new people come into your life. And I've gotten to the place where I have to ask, okay, what is the agenda? Is the agenda a genuine friendship, unconditional, or is the agenda based on something I may have that the other person may desire or the other person may want? Some questions to ask yourself, as well as we are continuing this journey called life. You have people that come, you have people that go, you have people that, I thought we were great friends and we've parted ways. Maybe they've changed, maybe you've changed, and maybe it was best that you did part ways in that particular situation. We're going to take a break. When we come back on the other side of the break, I want to talk a little bit more about seasonal friendships. If you're just joining us, this is My Journey with Paula G. I'm your host, Paula G, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Hello, I'm Coach Crystal Henry. I'm here as a survivor of emotional and mental abuse. Emotional and mental abuse may not leave visible scars, but the scars run deep and last maybe a lifetime. Emotional abuse is damaging, period. And it's time for you to break your silence. I encourage you to reach out to your local therapist, counselor, or someone that you can trust. Do not suffer in silence alone. Together, we are stronger. So I encourage you, get help. I'm Coach Crystal Henry. You can connect with me at crystalhenry.net. Today is a great day for you to start your journey of healing.
Welcome back to my journey with Paula G. I'm your host, Paula G, and right here we are juggling this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. Make sure you stay connected across all platforms. Paula G Voice, my website is paulagvoice.com. If you're interested in being an underwriter, did I mention that at the top of the show? I don't think I did. But if you are interested in being an underwriter, you have a business product or service and you're looking to gain exposure, email us, Paula G Voice, Paula at paulagvoice.com and jerryvoicelive@gmail.com. Put underwriting opportunities in the subject line. We'll make sure that we follow up. Also, like, share, subscribe, visit my website. I Part of my journey is voiceover, radio, television, modeling. I'm an author, contributing writer to magazine, and also courses that I have, mindset journey courses where we're unlocking that negative mindset, creating a new narrative, walking in my gifts and talents, encouraging you to do the same as well. All right, before the break, we were talking about seasonal friendships. And I was sharing that how sometimes there's certain people that come in your life for a season of time for whatever reason that may be. In some instances, it may be a good thing. Someone was in your life for a season when you needed that person to be in your life based on what you were going through. Sometimes somebody's in a season of your life based on their agenda. You have something they want or they need. They're not so much about you as the person and the authenticity of you, but what it is that you have that they need or they want. In some instances, people might accuse others of using them. I thought you were my friend. You were just using me. We have to be discerning when people are coming into our lives. Be discerning and, asking for discernment and asking, is this person, what is the reason that this person is in my life? Lord, reveal to me what it is, the reason that this person is in my life. Because it can be very hurtful when, you begin a journey with someone that you feel is a friend, only to find out later on that the friendship was based on an agenda that they have. And, I have a couple of notes here. I have friends who we've been friends 40 plus years. And what I love about this friendship is that it is unconditional. Over the span of 40 plus, we're going on what, 45 years maybe now? Over the span of 45 years, all of us have gone through different phases of our lives. We may not have agreed with each other's choices. We may not have agreed with each other's lifestyle, but we loved each other unconditionally. We spoke our mind about, what we did or didn't agree with, but we loved each other and we supported each other unconditionally. And the times where, one of us may have discovered, you know what, now you were right. Now I see it. There wasn't a lot. I told you so. It was, what do we need to do to move forward? What do we need to do to heal? Those are the kind of friendships that you desire. I remember back in the early days when I was married. My husband was in the military. We were overseas, and there were several years where, these two particular friends and I did not communicate. Wasn't because anyone was upset or angry or anything of that nature, but it was because we were military. family and I, we were military, we were overseas. This was before texting, before email, before video chats and all that. All you had was the what they call snail mail now, where you go to the post office. My daughter says the only people that go to the post office are old people, and the only people go to the bank are old people. Anyway, you would go to the post office and you would mail a letter to, it was an APO address, and you mail the letter to, wherever you were mailing it to. And sometimes it'd take a minute to get there. So that was our means of communication. But then when I got back stateside and I called them, we just picked up wherever we left off. There were times where, I was stateside, we were all stateside, and for whatever reason, we didn't communicate for an extended period of time, but one of us called the other. We just picked, hey, how you doing? You okay? We just picked up where we left off. It wasn't, oh, you didn't call me, or I called you the last time. And, all this keeping score. Oh my gosh, it drives me nuts. All of this keeping score in some friendships. Well, I called you last. I've called you the last 3 times. No, you called me. No, I called you and left them. Oh my Lord, how can y'all be friends when you fussing about stuff like that? When you have a genuine, authentic, it doesn't matter who called, who last. Just when you pick up the phone and that person is on the other end, make sure they're okay and just engage in whatever the conversation is. Catch up on each other's lives. You never know what someone's going through. You never know what someone's going through. So friendships, knowing and recognizing a genuine friendship is so crucial. And I know sometimes we think we need a whole lot of friends in our lives. I can count the really close, my aces, on one hand. I know a lot of people. I've got a lot of friends, acquaintances, but those close ride or die with me, about five or so, about five of them. So a few things here when we're looking at friendships. Know yourself. And I said this before when we were talking about relationships. You got to know yourself. Be authentic to yourself. Know what it is that you desire, have your boundaries set. What is it that you will go for? What is it that you won't go for? Having established these boundaries and a lifestyle, because when you establish boundaries, when you establish a lifestyle, you find yourself in the circle of what we call like-minded people. So you tend to be around like-minded people, and thus those are the people that you draw from your pool of friendship. But you got to know yourself first. You have to know who it is that you are. When we are broken and hurting, and we reach out for friendships, those friendships may not be the healthiest friendships, because those same people may be wallowing in what we're wallowing in at the same time, especially if it's an unhealthy wallow, and we connect because we both are wallowing together. So we might as well just go on and wallow together. And I had a friend that coined the phrase, and I don't know if he originated it or someone else, but he said if a drunk hangs with a drunk, neither one will ever be sober. Somebody's got to make the decision to change gears, to shift, to find another group of people to be with so they can get out of their current situation. We've heard this saying something to the effect, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change rooms. Sometimes we need to change rooms. Sometimes we've outgrown those particular friendships. Have a face-to-face conversation. If you have a conflict with a friend, please, if y'all don't remember anything else I say on this episode, always communicate face to face. Now I realize sometimes we're in different cities. Well, no, we can't meet face to face because, she lives on the East Coast and I live on the West Coast. You can video chat. And especially in this day and age, you can video chat. Face to face communication, talking, dialect, communicating when there's a problem in the friendship, not texting the person and emailing the person. No, Y'all gotta talk. Y'all gotta talk. Conversation, communication is so essential to good friendship. And then sometimes you got to know when to cut the ties. There are certain people we have to love them from a distance. And in some instances is a long distance we got to love them from. Because sometimes, we outgrow people. Sometimes, people make choices that, we try to help them, but at some point we've got to cut the ties because the choices that they're making could be harmful to us in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So sometimes you got to know when to cut ties with friends. And then finally, the lessons that I've learned from all this, because you all know I like to share a lesson. As your life and your seasons change, I think I kind of alluded to this at the top. As your life and your seasons change, your friendships may change as well. Some of them are rock solid, and you've got those unconditional friendships like I have, but some of them you may need to change. Seasons change, and you might need to change the circle of people that you are around because if you want to constantly grow, you have to have people around you that are growing as well and growing in the same direction or are in a position to lift you up as you go. Friendships are essential. Genuine friendships are essential. The challenge is to discern your connection with the other person, the agenda of the other person, is to discern the person or persons that are coming into your life as friends and making sure that these friendships that are developing are authentic friendships. We've come to the end of our journey. I hope and pray that y'all got something from that today. Thank you to the first time viewers or listeners who've joined us. We invite you to come back. Those of you who continue to view and listen, thank you all so much. If you're interested in underwriting opportunities, jerryroycelive@gmail.com, Paula at paulagvoice.com. Stay connected with me across all platforms. Paula G Voice, website paulagvoice.com. Thank you to our underwriters for your underwriting support so that we can continue to provide this type of programming. And remember, the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you preaching to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still small voice? Until next time, embrace the journey and embrace those friendships.
You're my
Hello, I'm Coach Crystal Henry, and I'm here to share my story, not as a victim, but as a survivor of sexual assault. I remained silent in darkness, full of shame, doubt, uncertainty, and my mind was clouded about what to do. You should break your silence. Report it. The national hotline number is 1-800-656-HOPE. Healing is possible. I found my strength, and so can you. I'm Coach Crystal Henry. Connect with me at crystalhenry.net. Your voice matters, so let's break the silence together. Stand strong against sexual assault.
Family, this is Paula G, aka Lady Wisdom, host of My Journey with Paula G. And I just want to share with you all that we are so excited because our reach is expanding. We are now presently in the Brooklyn, New York area, the Atlanta, Georgia area, the DMV, and we are growing. So if you're looking for exposure for your business, product, or service, you can reach out to jerryvoicelive@gmail.com or Paula at paulagvoice.com. Put underwriting opportunities in the subject line, and we'll be sure to follow up with you as we all continue to spread the love, spread the word, and encourage each and every one of you to juggle this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. Until next time, embrace the journey.